please like and subscribe. Get into this weekend's card. As I told Chevy, I was watching SummerSlam, and this card had gone through a lot of different fights. But Chevy was explaining to me that this ended up being an awesome card. A lot of fight of the years. Continue.
Yeah, I was hating on this card big time for sure. Same as I'm hating on this upcoming card, but this one definitely delivered. You know, we had a few fight of the year contenders, I think. Looking back at Esteban Ribovics versus Elves Brener, I did highlight this one last week to keep an eye out because Ribovics already has a fight of the year fight under his belt with Daniel Zellhuber at UFC Noche. This one was good too because Elves Brener was game. You know what you're gonna get from Ribovics. He's gonna only go forward and throw constant offense. But Brener was there. He was throwing some stuff back, but mostly he was just staying on his feet while he was taking a beating. I'm not gonna miss a Ribovics fight or a Brener fight going forward for sure. So both guys put on exciting fights.
We ended up previewing a different co-main event because there was a couple different fight cards that were going around for this. So I think we might as well just talk about both co-main events. You saw the whole card anyway. So what about what we thought was going to be the co-main event?
So Karol Rosa versus Nora Cornolle. I mean, it's just Karol Rosa has so much more experience. We talked about this, and she really just grappled her way to victory. So Nora looked pretty good in the first round. Karol got her down, and it was very obvious from there that she just needed to keep getting her down. So she ended Rosa with a decision. But the actual co-main event ended up being Mateusz Rebecki. I can't remember how his name's pronounced. It's not the way it's spelled. Rebecki and Chris Duncan. They put on another possible fight of the year contender. So Duncan ends up getting the decision, but it was very close. Both guys are really bloodied up. This is very similar to the Ribovics Brener fight, except I'd say with less technical fighting going on. It was mostly just like two bulls colliding. They would, walk around each other, circle each other for a bit, and then they both go at the same time. And, Duncan landed this really vicious elbow that ended up putting a really bad cut on Mateusz early on in the fight. And then Duncan's face ended up getting all cut. Both his eyes were bleeding and stuff. It was a great fight. There's not a lot going on for them in the division matchup wise. The commentary team was trying to make it out like these are a couple of young up and comers, but I mean, they're not. They're mature at this point for sure. And lightweight's a very deep division, as we know. But
yeah, absolutely. 14-2 for Chris Duncan right now, though. So, he's got a good record and he's moving up, and he survived a dogfight. So hopefully he'll go on to do some good things.
Yeah, he's definitely a very tough guy. And then the main event obviously was supposed to be Tatsuro Taira versus Amir Albazi. Albazi had to pull out. Late notice replacement Hyun-sung Park, who was, I believe, 10-0.
Yes.
And like all finishes or something like that. All finishes in the UFC for sure. So he looked pretty good. Park looked pretty good early in the first, but similar to that Karol Rosa fight, Taira got him down and clear path to victory from there. So, I've been singing Tatsuro Taira's praises for a while now. He called for a title shot. Unfortunately, the division is a little bit weak, a little thin, so it's possible he gets a title shot, but I ideally would like to see him to fight a couple more times. He's still very young. He's only 25, still has some stuff to learn before he fights. We know there's a big age or a big skill gap between like the top 3 or 4 guys and everyone else. I'd like to see him keep working his way up.
I'd like to see them remake the fight with Albazi just to see, they're next to each other in the rankings when I last looked. So why not give it a shot and see how he does there? If he can get the win, then you're looking at it. I mean, his one loss was to, I believe, Brandon Royval, which
he just kind of gassed out. Royval's a top level guy. So
right, that upper flyweight division guys where, like you said, there's a big skill difference. But it ended up being a great card. So I guess that's why you never know, right? That's why you tune into some of these fight nights, see what's going to happen.
Right.